She hasn't been on for a while. I'm kind of just know that and trust that she's in communication with any of you on either emails and through whichever form of communication she will use. In this video, I just wanted to express and give my feelings on my passions in and involve that in Enchanted Bell Witch. That when I connected to the spiritual energy, I know that my whole energy was getting tons of different information that they were telling me. And funnily enough, about 20 minutes ago, I was telling my daughter Juliet a made up story. And that made up story had some fantastic ideas. And it was a bit of a long children's story book. It was nothing pagan, nothing witchy, but I've been looking online for pagan books and things that really relate to a pagan lifestyle in a family. And it's important for the children who we raise and who we love, to learn about pagan lifestyle, how to live that type of lifestyle, because that's what they know. They're going to be accustomed to new things and mixing with schools and stuff like that. And I think it's good for them to know about the elements. It's good for them to know about seasons and different celebrations with regard to what, like Beltane and Samhain. And I've felt the need to be inspired to actually write my own children's books, and I think that's something that really puts me in a position to express and feel able to relate to those stories in my own life about what I experienced. And they don't have to be all witchy and pagan and stuff like that. They can be normal stories of bringing unity to a community or a village of people. And say, for example, in my story for with Juliet this evening was for a boy who was accepted in a village but didn't have a family, but people in the village were there to take care of him. And that's something that really showed my daughter this evening about caring for people, about never giving up, about forgiving people. And in the story, it involved actually a community and another community, two of them split in half, where there was differences between each other, but the boy was that strength in the middle that brought unity. And that's inspired me to write many more. And I think it's just, she fell asleep so fast, and I felt so emotional inside. It's mean that Belinda's trying to call me actually because she's in the middle of working, but I'm actually doing a video right now. So I'm just going to quickly go in the house and let her know that I'm doing a video, so I can continue talking really. So just bear with me. I'm just going to put the phone down. I'm still here. I just had to tell Belinda not to call me again. And basically, just feel comfortable with the fact that I was telling the story. And, I don't know if I do have a storytelling voice, but in my head, I was just going slowly with what was going to happen next, and it related to my daughter and what she was feeling, and she just fell asleep in my arms, comfortable. And it's probably spiritual spell casting, putting your daughter to sleep, that flow of love and that soft energy in your voice and your ability to connect with your child, and they connect with you. And she stopped me before she fell asleep and asked me questions, and she said, the boy's name he's just called the boy, but I said to her, I said, every reader who reads it, the author, which is me, I had to explain to her, every child has the opportunity to name the boy, and it will probably in the page will say, well, name the boy. And she named him Tom. So it gives them a bit more of an adventure, that they're part of it. I said, you're going to jump into the story now, Juliet, and you're going to name the boy, and you're going to be part of that. And I kind of described what the boy was thinking about. There was a part of the story that the boy didn't like chocolate because it was a bad memory that he gave it to his brother, and he wanted to share a piece of chocolate with him. But that night there was a tragedy in the home and he lost his family. There was a fire. But he realized, the boy, as he grew older, as he became a good man helping the whole village, that the elderly people around had a problem within themselves, that they couldn't forgive, that they couldn't connect with one another like they used to. And the boy depended on them, but they depended on the boy. And it's not about how old we are in experience. It's about them recognizing that this boy had a gift. He had this ability to bring unity and love and peace and energy to a community of people. And in the story, about them adopting him as their own. And it was a weird story. I know there's gaps to it, but I think things like that truly help us to spellcast on our kids, to put them to sleep. That is the way forward. I start with once upon a time there was a boy, and it will begin, with that storytelling voice, and that imagination comes alive. What it did also was encourage Juliet for the future to use her imagination and not be afraid to use her imagination, not be afraid to express and feel and tell people how you feel respectfully. And it's all linked in, that if you have a good idea and you have an ambition or a goal, you're going to, express to people without feeling afraid about what people think of you. And we all get that. We may get a feeling of anxiety or fear from past bullying. We may get the feeling of, not connecting with our family in our childhood, and it's hard to connect with them now because we wanted to have that happy childhood in our life. And that's because we can't disconnect from the past, but there's also a part of having to forgive our family now in order to build on relationships and sustain them and to learn more about each other. So it is tiring, putting children to bed, but I really found a solution. She falls asleep in my arms safe because she pines for it. She needs her daddy. She needs to feel secure. She needs to feel safe. She needs to feel that she isn't alone. And when you mirror image negative or anger to a child, they're going to mirror image it back. And I've had many times where it's been the case, but I found a solution where spirit are guiding me. I said, guide me to understand how to work with children. Guide me to help get Juliet to understand me. And the only way she's going to understand me is to actually feel peace and to tell a story and use your imagination. And it becomes so much more interesting than reading an actual book that's in front of you, because she trusts her dad, she trusts her mom, their word, and she wants to go on that journey with her daddy. And that's what's important, really. I will be writing some children's books. I have written spiritual ones. It was called Heaven and Earth, and I changed it, and I can't quite remember what the actual title was because Jaden, my 17-year-old son, named it, and I'm still in the process of that. I'm also still in the process of building a manual for the mediumship development course, which has taken nearly a year and a half, and it's just, it's a little bit disappointing for some people who are waiting, but I've had the shop and many changes to consider, and a renovation of a house and a garden for Krista's birthday, and that went well. And I took time off the shop, and now I'm back. But you never can tell what you really want to do. There's a woman called Susan. She was a medium back then, and she still is. And she told me when I was 18 years old, and I'm in my 30s, and she told me something. She said, you will do what I do eventually, but that's not all the big thing about your life. You'll travel to Ireland, you'll go to a castle in Ireland, and you'll meet a very spiritual lady called Olivia Robinson. And I know it's her, and she's famous, and you'll meet her. I said, will I? And I forgot about it, and I did in the end. She also said, you'll travel further than that across the pond to other places, and obviously I'm here in America. But she said, you're going to be a writer. You're going to write different things. And I never would have thought really that children's books were something that I would do, but I know I will do it because it's connecting to bond and further help the development of my daughter and, teach her a lot of good things, morals and principles. And that's what it's all about, really. And can you see how, no matter what the theme is, if it's about unity, forgiveness, a community of people having that togetherness, it's kind of going to be adopted into your family life. And that's what we're teaching our children, to do good things and to know that it's okay when we make a mistake, but we're not going to repeat it. But we're going to also recognize that we're not going to get frustrated by our mistakes. We're going to try again. And if it doesn't work then, we're going to try again with a different approach. And when we succeed, we're going to feel better that we succeeded. And actually, good things come to those who wait. And you shouldn't get yourself frustrated. I tell my daughter, don't get frustrated. It's okay. You don't know everything. You don't know this answer to the math. You don't know this answer to the English, language. And I say to her, there's a lot that you do know. You have to give them props. And the stories can relate to children's development and strength and growth. And actually, if you are going to set goals, you're going to achieve those goals. And if you don't get it right away and achieve the goal, you will eventually, at some point. Achieving these goals happen to you at a certain point in your life at the right time. And I feel that when you grab an opportunity, you need to grab it with both hands. And if there are people that are going to bring you down, even at the age of 9, they're going to bring you down if you're at the age of 20, further up as we go older. We don't allow those people to beat us. We grab it with both hands. We don't allow people to stop us from achieving, because they stop us because they want to get up the ladder, and they stop us because they know we're capable of achieving it and doing a damn good job with that opportunity. They know how far we'll take it when it comes to our achievements. And that's what I want for my daughter. I don't want her to be competitive. I don't. And my other children. Eldest being Caleb, 19, and then there's Krista, who's just turned 16, Jaden, who's 17, and Juliet, who's 9. So they've all got good characteristics, good strengths, good skills that can take them out into the outside world and put up their barrier. You can't trust everybody, but they're also people that are very forgiving and look for the good in everyone. But I need them to see past all that and recognize that there are people out there that do bad things, and you can't be too forgiving. But they'll realize that in their own, experiences, and they can't feel that till they have experienced those situations to make them recognize that, yes, I do need to put the barrier up. Yeah, they've been hurt in the past by people, so they have a sense of understanding. Actually, I can't trust too easily. But now, as Belinda has taught them about meditation and about chakras and about energy healing and about positive intention, law of attraction, positive affirmations, the universe being a key thing, it's important. And actually, a lot of people say this Mercury retrograde right now ends on the 10th of March. Began somewhere in February and ends in the 10th of March. I think it's the 17th to the 10th. I might be wrong. And there's this lack of communication, there's miscommunication, there's judging one another, there's not listening to one another. But we can beat that with our positive intention. There's nothing more that we can do than just focus long and hard on positive, positive, positive. And yes, we are going to get affected by the Mercury retrograde. All the 12 zodiac of the star signs are going to feel it. But when it comes to bringing down the energy to a more balanced, positive, peaceful energy in the home, telling children's stories to kids takes a little bit of that energy, of tense energy from Mercury away, because it gives our children the feeling that they are loved, and that they can achieve, and that they do feel safe, and that their parents do care, and we can never give up on that fight. So just thought I'd share that with you, connecting the children's stories, me publishing them, and then moving forward to say to our children, we'll never give up on you, we love you till the very end, and to my dying last breath, I will always be there for my wife and children, And if you have to express through children's storybooks, if you have to express by publishing spiritual books, then do it. But really, you know, the heart and soul of expressing isn't about just putting it in front of people, the books itself of what you know. It's about really truly feeling and showing people, not by words, but by actions, but by showing them how loving and kind we can be as a person. So the negative does not serve a good purpose, but it is there as a purpose to remind us about what we should not be. And then we face our demons and our darkness, and we can feel a little bit more open to the light around us. But we're always going to be tested. But for the time being, I don't need to babble on to my children about all this. They know a great deal already. But my 9-year-old daughter, she needs to live her childhood. She needs to enjoy it. She needs to be able to just know that her daddy loves the hell out of her more and more than ever than I can imagine, just as much as I love myself and the universe and my wife. That love is immense, it's intense, and it should always remain intense in my heart till my dying last breath, forever. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. You didn't expect, but you know, it should be children's storybooks, but I will be writing them, and I will be letting you know how far I'll take it to, you know, this boy in a story that can be such an inspiration. And kids are the future. Kids are special. They are a shining light of love and healing and spiritual energy. And some kids are in a bad position where we need to send that healing and prayers to them. So many blessings, and please do focus long and hard on sending the positive affirmations out about yourself and about life and about other people. Forgive, don't be bitter, and recognize that, you know, people like Belinda has that gift, and people reach out for spell work. And if you're not getting a reply, it's because she's working through the list. And good things come to those who wait. She will be in touch with those she hasn't connected with. And if you're not getting a result, it's because you're not thinking positive. You need to be open to that energy and work with her and know that it will be so. I will not doubt. And that's what we need to project to our children. So therefore, we need to do it for our own lifestyle, who we are as well. Many thanks, and Belinda, I'm sure, will be on the channel soon. It is an important thing, this channel, and we thank those that are on, watch us for the support over the many years and months, and we will continue as that dual couple for Enchanted Bell Witch to continue forward and do well. And we're doing it not just for the people, for spiritual growth or spiritual healing and, you know, nurturing and comforting people, or strengthening friendships and that circle, or educating about religious things like paganism and Wicca. We talk about actually strengthening this for our children and their future, and hopefully they'll carry on that legacy, which we all should follow. Whatever we're doing in life, we should encourage our children to continue that legacy and never give up. So many blessings. Have a wonderful evening, and I